And sir, after 12th, what kind of degree or courses should they take?
So in that basic is required, and basic people neglect also. We should not neglect basics.
In one of the interview after Chandrayaan 3, I saw like S. Somnath sir, who is the chief of ISRO right now. He said that the current salaries of the scientists is 1/10 of what they should be paid. Alien civilization. Do you have any book recommendations for the youngsters? Do you believe in astrology?
No.
Fair, I also don't believe. You think God created universe? Sir, now I have a philosophical question.
We are offering 35,000 per month for a fresh student. Plus free accommodation, free medical.
Oh, that's really good. 35,000 per month.
2 lakh book grant per year. And plus 1 lakh, if you want to go any symposium outside, we will fund you. You can increase 2 lakh also.
So sir, what can the next generation do to bring that change? कि knowledge ऐसा वाला होना चाहिए, ऐसा वाला हटाना चाहिए.
Funding used to be very poor. But
वो तो अभी भी है. But I believe, like, if I may, in religion what happens is the conclusion is given before, but you can't question the conclusion. You cannot change it.
But if you look at as a passion, as a hobby, you will see the shooting stars, asteroids, meteoroids, many things are there in astronomy as a subject in BSc. Indian Institute of Science, Education and Research, ISRO. And these days one more institute have also come up in Trivandrum. They call it Indian Institute of Space Science Technology.
Do you think time can ever go back?
अगर आपसे बोला जाए यहाँ पर एक पहाड़ खोदो, पहाड़ को बनाओ, तो उसके लिए मिट्टी कहाँ से लाओगे? उसको नीचे खोदना पड़ेगा ना पहले.
Sir, do you think the Research and Development Department of India should be taken more seriously as India is blooming currently?
After Chandrayaan 3 got really popular, young students, they want to work for India, like for India's growth, for India's space research and more. Maybe they want to work at ISRO. Earlier, maybe 1 or 2 generation earlier, people used to study here and then go and work at NASA. Like their dream ki America jaake will work at NASA. But now there are more opportunities emerging out of India, and ISRO is also doing so well. So anyone who's watching, sir, right now, maybe a young folk who is in 9th or 10th or 11th or in college, they want to work at ISRO. So what would be the career roadmap for them? What advice would you like to give to them? Hello sir, nice to meet you. First of all, really thank you for inviting me in your house. This is one of my special in-person podcast shoot. मैं usually Google Meet में Zoom call में करता हूँ screen recording. This is the first time that I'm doing in person. So it's a very special interview. I'm very honored that he has agreed to do this and invited me to his house. So before we begin, sir, can you kindly introduce yourself to the audience?
I am Bhuvan Bhatt, and originally I belong to Uttarakhand. I think it is a northern part of India. You may understand it better. It is a newly crafted state from Uttar Pradesh. So originally Uttarakhand, my home district is Almora, where a very small village, Dwarahat. My born place is in Dwarahat. But my primary schooling and others, college and all others are near a town, Bhawali we call it. It is very near to Nainital. Because my father was working there, so I was put up with my father. My mother was still in village, but my father brought me in the town for my study. So from primary level to up to 10th level, I studied in the Bhawali town. And in Bhawali town, though Nainital was very near from there, that town, but my father did not allow me to for intermediate when I told that I want to do the science only, because up to 10th it was science. But they told no, the Nainital going will be difficult. Today it may not be difficult, but at the time 11-12 kilometer was very difficult for a person to send their young children outside for study, and in hills very less development was there.
And that was during which time, sir? Do you remember the date?
During 78 when I finished my high school.
78.
And in Uttarakhand it is very undeveloped state. Still things are there, and still you won't believe, going to my village takes it is not in a regular route. We have to walk around 4 kilometers to reach my village still, if I go to my village. So that way, at the time when it was not possible to, because science college was not there in my town, so I was sent to Karnaprayag in Garhwal of Uttarakhand only. That is, one place is called Karnaprayag, which is 200 kilometers from Nainital again. So there I studied with my maternal uncle. So 2 years I spent there. I did my intermediate from there. Then I was back to my hometown again, and then from home I used to go to Nainital. Nainital was a good institution were there, and my college is university was Kumaon University, Nainital, and my college name is DSB campus. It is a college which was made on a land donated by, at that time, very Thakur Dan Singh, which maybe the very rich person of that era.
You still remember the name?
Yeah, but the campus name is DSB campus.
Ah, okay.
So that's why, and that DSB campus, it was very initially before coming to the Kumaon University, because Kumaon University was formed in 1973-74 on. Before that, that college was affiliated with the Agra University. The college was very old, but with the new university it was come. So that's why this was DSB campus, we call it. So I did my BSc. At the time when I was studying, because we are a part of Uttar Pradesh and we didn't have much opportunity, and we didn't have any exposure also after inter what we should do. The little we used to heard about the IIT and Roorkee University and like that we used to heard, but nobody used to guide us. Okay, you are good, what to do. So for us people who didn't have any exposure, we have option. Okay, your BSc is very nearby, you go and do the BSc only.
Sir, BSc in specialization, do you remember?
Physics.
In physics.
I was very fond of science, means physics, mathematics and chemistry. But that way we did not go for the engineering and all, because we didn't have any exposure and nobody taught us also that you should take this opportunity, you should explore this. And because in our hills at the time it was not much common, only that okay, nearest college is you have physics. So DSB campus has a physics chemistry stream, so I went for the BSc. So I did my BSc, and at the time there were 2-year courses only, 2-year BSc and 2-year MSc. So after BSc finishing 2 years, so 82 I finished my BSc. After that, what to do? Either you go for employment or do something. So MSc was also there, so I did my MSc physics also.
Sir, in which?
In 84.
Which university or college?
Same university, Kumaon University, same campus college.
Okay.
So 84 I finished my PhD. So now what to do? During this period also, during MSc, when I was doing MSc, and in our hills, the best thing is that you go for any government job, settle and something. But I don't know how I was thinking about to do something else, not conventional. Okay, because we have opportunity for MSc, BSc, MSc, so we did it. But now what next? But during my MSc, one thing was very clear, since my childhood, when I was young, I was very fascinated to look into the sky. In Bhavali, where my house was there, in backyard, we have a very good jungle, very good forest was there, and we have our cattle also. So we used to go to that backyard forest to get the grass and other thing to feed cattle, and we used to take cattle to the forest also. And at the time we have to get the firewood also for cooking food and all. And at that time, because it was 71, 72, but I very good remember when we used to go to our jungle, we used to see the one observatory which was in Nainital. It was UP State Observatory, and we saw it's coming up there, and it has a very wide dome. Later I come to know how it was brought, but we used to very fascinated by those domes from our jungle we used to see. And when we talk about our other friends, we used to tell that कि वहाँ दिन में तारे दिखाई जाते हैं. तो हम सोचते थे कि मैं सोचता था दिन में कैसे तारे दिखाएंगे, तारे तो रात में निकलते. वो एक थोड़ा सा वो था कि ऐसा कैसे पॉसिबल है. लोग तो ये, क्योंकि जनरली ये होता है कि इन जनरल कन्वर्सेशन इट हैपेंस ना कि ओके दैट ऑब्जर्व, बिकॉज वेरी इट वाज नॉट वेरी मच पॉपुलर एंड ऑल. सो लोगों के दिमाग में था ओके यार दिन में तारे दिखाई देते हैं. बट आई यूज्ड टू थिंक व्हाई एनीवे दैट वाज फैसिनेशन इनिशियल. बट ड्यूरिंग व्हेन आई स्टार्टेड गोइंग नैनीताल फॉर माय बीएससी, आई यूज्ड टू सी दिस buses of Uttar Pradesh Rajki Vedashala, UP State Observatory, and there few people are coming, going. We used to see those vehicles, and I used to fascinate. So good people, they have that opportunity that they are there. So it was a little fascination that yeah, one day I will also go there. That fascination was there, and during
Ambition.
BSc also. I never gone there. It was some 9 kilometers from there, but it is a very private. I mean, it is a very private area. We used to see it as a good observatory, good institution. It is a very little, I mean, marked thing that it is a big thing. We used to afraid also. People will, I mean, डांट देंगे, क्यों जा रहा है? They will not permit us.
Restricted
So
area.
Restricted area. So we never thought of going and asking people also. But I used to fascinate that. Slowly I come to know when I was, because astronomy and astrophysics, it was not taught in our syllabus, 8th, 9th, somewhere, some 1 chapter, 2 chapter of solar eclipse, lunar eclipse might have been, but there is no other knowledge of that, what a star is, how it has come, what is Milky Way, how it looks. So this is not taught in our, I mean, astronomy is never taught to us.
Sir, it's still the same, na? Even to this day, do you think it's
I
still
don't
the same?
think in syllabus also, in modern day syllabus also, it is taught at somewhere else. So in BSc, when I got to know in physics in more advancement, and then I come to know some chapters on the gravitation and all, then I slowly realized that, yeah, this is a science only, and not just fascination, din mein tare dikhai dete hain. But behind that, many more things are there. When I was in BSc. But I never went there, never courage to go there, because it was a 9 kilometer from Nainital in a private area, restricted area, and nobody with us also or in our locality or who can say, no, I know the people there.
I'll take you there. ऐसा नहीं था.
ऐसा कुछ नहीं था. हाँ, नैनीताल में कुछ दोस्तों से बात करते थे नैनीताल के ही लोगों से, तो कहते थे कि ऐसा होता है वैसा होता है, but never seriously. Then thinking that when MSc I did, MSc first year I finished. Second year, there was a special paper, Astrophysics, in MSc. So I opted for it. And you won't believe, at the time, my batch was around 16 people who are in MSc. Only 2 people were opted for astrophysics. Wow. Others were in solid state, electronics, and particle physics, and other higher nuclear physics. But people were trying me. Even the head of the department also tell me, hey, why you are going astrophysics? And I go, no. So one my friend, he was from Lucknow, Sunil. He was also with me. So we 2 opted for, and there were people were there who were teaching, some Professor Atul Pandey, Professor Durga Pal, and Madam one Kavita Pandey. They were there to taught us in MSc. So I finished astrophysics as a special paper, MSc Physics with a special paper in astrophysics. So I finished. At the time our session was also very late, and my result came in December 1984. So somehow I completed my MSc. Now what to do? I was preparing for different competitions and all, what we used to hear. Very diversify means somebody told that the development officer in LIC. Banks were very, bank clerical exams were very popular at that time. So I used to give all those things, this LIC also, and forest also. All written tests I used to give for, because no other counseling also now what you should do. And we at that time we have to, in district also we have a employment bureau also, Rozgar Karyalaya. We registered there also, because basic aim is now what we have completed, now you should get some job. But that astrophysics was still in mind, and I was thinking that I should go sometime. Fortunately, what happened, some projects of that area, observatory, some projects, vacancies were there, and employment notice was given. It has come to me, because so they asked for the BSc Physics people, for some technicians and all. That way I saw, okay, I will. But it was the post for BSc Physics, but I was thinking, no, I have my MSc, why I should go for this? Ego was there. But I thought, okay, I will go and let me see. So with some other colleagues who finished MSc Physics with me also, so we went there. But though a call letter was there, but I did not go for interview. My other people went, but I explored there, what exactly they are doing. And first time that way I went in January 1985.
दिन में तारे देखने के लिए.
तब समझ में आया कि what it is exactly. what we used to think when we were a child. I mean, we were just a boy. So anyway, so that way it was a good experience. But I thought no. And there when I people talk, they told for MSc Physics, there are research fellows are there, and nobody comes here. You will easily get, because if you are interested, you will easily get. So I thought, okay, I did not appear for that technician interview. And you won't believe, the person who with whom I went with, he was technician there. He's just technician, and he was appointed. He joined also, and he retired with me now. I retired as professor, but he was whole life he was technician. He opted for that, but I did not opted. Anyway, so I struggled much more after that, but that paid me. But that person, I mean, on 30th June when we both retired, he told he retired as technician guy. At least I retired as senior professor now. So that was the difference which my ego worked at the time. No, why I should go for BSc post? Because for minimum qualification was BSc Physics for that. But I finished my MSc. So anyway, so I was waiting to get some opportunity. Meantime, some of my family friends were there, with whom one Dr. Arvind Bhatnagar. He was director of Udaipur Solar Observatory. He was also product of DSB campus only, Nainital. He was director of Udaipur Solar Observatory in Udaipur. It is a part of Ahmedabad. It is a part of ISRO only. It was solar. He was director, and somehow they have some projects, and so they have a workshop in Nainital Observatory. And my family friends know him, so because they may be knowing in Nainital, some Shah family was there, and they just told them that one boy MSc Physics is with us. Can you guide him, or can you?
At that time, you did not have any job.
No.
At that time,
I was struggling because it was 2 months, 3 months only after my finishing my MSc. But I used to take a lot of tuitions. I used to earn. With
you used to tutor kids, physics. Do you remember how much you used to earn tutoring kids?
Yeah, at that time, actually, when I realized later, my father's salary was 300 rupees, but I used to get 1200 as tuition.
Back in 85?
In 82, 83.
82, 83. 1200 per month. Wow, that too I think.
My father, he used to get 300, 400 only salary. I remember at the time when it was in peak, so 12 to 1200 also I.
Do you remember how you spent your first earning?
On my books only, on my study. Because I started in MSc, BSc, MSc all. I never asked money from my father. All books, fees, everything, going, coming, buses and all.
You paid for your own education.
Yeah, I never asked my father, because
That's
I know my father also cannot give. We are for 6 siblings. I mean 6 sister, and my father was in state transport. He was cashier there, so he was very low paid. But somehow it was life at that time. So those Arvind Bhatnagar asked them to send that boy to me in observatory. It was 5th or 6th April.
Oh, you still remember that day?
Yeah. So I went and met him. He told, "Naukri karega kya?" I mean, yes, karenge jo we can. So we have some projects, but initially we can give you some project, and later we will see. And when theek hai, karenge kuch, unless we have some experience how we can get it, and I want to utilize. After that they told, okay, so they might have talked to the director Nainital Observatory. I don't know if the director observatory asked me that they have research fellow and you apply for it. So at that time itself I wrote an application, and next day they asked me they prepare for the interview.
Research fellow, sir, you mean PhD?
PhD.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I submitted my application, and it was research fellow, and they are giving 600. It was good money at the time.
600 per month.
600 per month. And so next day they asked me to come prepare for interview. So I went, interviewed, and they grilled me some 4 hours.
Why?
I was alone.
Oh.
All scientists there. And they told me about that observatory and all, and then they asked me what I learned in astrophysics. So 3-4 scientists, kabhi koi apne kamre mein le gaya, kabhi koi apne kamre mein le gaya. Because people are not opting to go there, no? They caught me. So mujhe laga bhi, and they grilled me for 3 full day. So evening they told, okay, we are happy and we will give you but you have to do some other work. Well, whatever work मैंने कहा आप जो भी काम दें I will happily do it, क्योंकि मुझे ज्वाइन करना था, इंस्टीट्यूट ज्वाइन करना था, जो कि मैं बचपन से which I used to dream कि वो दिन में तारे now I can be part of it.
दिन में तारे देखना
तो समझ में आ गया था कि what they do, but एक वो उस टाइम फैसिनेशन बन गया था, I don't know why. देखते देखते वो सफेद डोम दिखता था तो बड़ा वो लगता था. Anyway, so I joined it 11th April 1985.
Oh, you remember that was so
since
long.
then I started my journey in astronomy and astrophysics. So now I retired after approximately 38 years of professional life. So I joined Uttar Pradesh State Observatory, Nainital. Today it is changed to the Aryabhatta Research Institute, ARIES they call it. ARIES Nainital. So it was a state observatory funded by UP state government only, very poorly funded, but they were doing some work, but funds were very poor, so no much posts were there, very few. So when I went there, first they joined, they asked me that they are working on a project, they have a bigger telescope project. So I told you, in astronomy, that telescopes are the basic tool for us. So they have at the time already 1 meter telescope. I mean there's a diameter. I mean the bucket is for 1 meter wide to collect the photons which are coming from the atmospheric, from the stars coming through our atmosphere and being collected by the 1 meter mirror. They call it Sampurnanand telescope. And that observatory was, it was born in 1955 after independence. So it was working in Nainital. Because astronomy and astrophysics, for telescopes, we need a higher places and very good atmosphere. Like maximum we need the clear sky.
Clear sky.
Where we can have maximum
visibility.
Coverage, visibility and transparency. Very less, smog, fog, other atmospheric, a lot of parameters are there to decide location of a telescope, which I learned later. So they told it was when this Nainital site was selected 63, 64. At the time, because population was not that, development was very less. So now today you see the Nainital observatory, you cannot see in the sky. It was so populated, so light pollution, background light. You cannot observe much in the night in Nainital now. That's why they have also shifted now to another place.
But sir, that problem persists all over India.
All over the world.
All over the world, correct?
All over the world.
Yeah.
So at the time they were thinking that they should go for the other inner side of Himalaya. So that the population increase, but it is coming in Nainital and around area. So I joined that project. That they call it a 4 meter telescope project. So I started working on I started research on this telescope sites. So they call it a site testing, which is the best site. You have to go to the site, you have to see with the small telescope also what is the image quality, what other factors, many things are there to decide on what is the best site for the observatory. We need to look into the sky, we need to look in the clouds pattern, wind pattern, temperature also, because if temperature is also varying, image quality may not be good. We need a stable image on the telescopes so that we can have a good data. So they were working on this project, so I was given the charge of the project, and the professor who was directly involved, Dr. Mehra, was there. I was immediately under him. He was the leader, but I was the execution person, getting all data, collecting, analyzing and all. So this was the part I started my career in Nainital, and my first paper also came in site testing only.
In 84, 85?
In 86 it was published.
86.
And during same period, though I was working on the project as a research fellow only, but because my basic is working with the telescope. My main job was, they have given me this assignment to do, but my interest, I started working with the telescopes which were there. So they have 2-3 telescopes. 1 meter telescope, I started working, learning the techniques and all. I started observing also how the star looks through the telescope also. that I started. And during 86, I was much involved in the observation of this Halley's comet.
Halley's comet.
86, because it comes after 76 years, no?
Yeah, 75.
75,
76. Once in 76
so
years.
86 it was there.
Oh.
So they asked me to contribute in that. So I contributed to observation of the Halley's comet.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah. And I started working, and slowly my work also started, because slowly I started getting into the more research and I started working on the star clusters. Actually, star clusters, they are the basic building blocks of the galaxy.
Correct.
I started working on the star clusters and to work on the star birth and stellar evolution, how they evolve with the time, how they die, and this all cycle. So my theme was more or less, I decided on the theme that what I should do in my research and all. But meantime, one more thing was there, because Dr. Bhatnagar, he has also a similar project of site testing in Ladakh during 84. So they also were working on a national, it was a more or less national nature. I mean, many institutions were involved in Ladakh. Project Astronomy Ladakh, it was its name. And I was working in their UP State Observatory, similar project. So they asked me to go to Ladakh. So I first landed in Ladakh in 1987.
Oh, wow. That early in your career. Yeah.
In 87, I landed there in Ladakh, and at that time Ladakh was, nothing was there. Very
No
poor,
tourists.
No tourists. Not a very poor facility. Twice in a week, Air India used to go there. That is also 2 days in a week, and it will go via Chandigarh also. Achha. So it will go to Chandigarh, from Chandigarh to Leh back, and twice in a week only. Now today, if you see Ladakh, there are 14 to 15 flights per day.
Yeah, because of tourists.
Yeah.
But sir, at that time, was it like very beautiful, very picturesque Ladakh?
It was same.
It was better than now it is? Yeah.
It is still same.
Still same?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But now the other environment things are coming. I mean, lot of garbage.
Because of tourism.
But definitely lights have also come up now. During my period, there was no city lights, because that was grid was not there. No local grid. So only 2 to 3 hours the generator used to give the light to the whole town. And for heating also, this wood burning and kerosene burning used to be there. And we are at the time affiliated with the army lab was there, because it was difficult surviving by civilians, other than if you have a army backup for supporting you. So I have a defense lab associated. So I worked in 87. I was there for 1 month. Then I went for 3 to 4 months. Then in 88 again, 3 to 4, 6 months I stayed there and worked with different instruments about that site which was selected near Leh town. Finally, it could not be materialized, that site in Leh. Later a story again came. So from Nainital side I worked on it. I was working on this, and I told you initially I worked with the photographic plate with the telescope. Then this photon counting technique also came. With that I started working, but finally it was taking too much time. Finally the CCD came, the digital camera technique, which we call technically it is called charge coupled device. Technically,
just for the record, it's not coffee cafe day CCD.
It is digital camera you call it in today, but it is named as charge coupled device. The technique is, so charge coupled device that came in Nainital also, and so I work with that. The same objects which I studied with 3 years, I was studying with the photon counting and photographic. In 1 year, I studied 3 to 4 clusters in CCD. And I published, I think mine was the first CCD observation in India. I mean, publication wise, if you see, I was also a first person in
That's huge.
doing that. In CCD observation. So that was the journey. Then slowly people asked me that I should get registered for PhD. Because I was working on my theme for doing PhD. At that time, university was same Kumaon University, but this state observatory was a recognized institute under him. Degree generally is given by the universities only. Yeah. So I registered in 89 after 5 years, I think. At the time I was in job also there. I was not worrying about PhD and all because I was in ad hoc posting also as scientific officer also. So those were the other thing. Career wise, then PhD I started, and it took 4 years because 89 I registered, so 93 I was awarded. But after that also, because in UP State Observatory very few opportunities were not good, so I thought of shifting from Nainital to other place, explore more, because UP State Observatory has a very limited setup. A sanction of post also not there. People are working on ad hoc and all. Thought okay, let it be. So after finishing my PhD,
You got your doctorate at 93.
yeah, 93 I got it, and I left that, and I applied here in Indian Institute of Astrophysics
Oh, in Bangalore.
in Bangalore.
Oh, in 93.
93. Here I came in for, at that time it was very difficult traveling, communicating.
Of course.
Fax has come up at that time.
लैंड फोन नहीं था तब.
लैंडलाइन था.
लैंडलाइन, हाँ.
एसटीडी कॉल तो आ चुके थे.
हाँ.
एसटीडी कॉल आ चुके थे, बट वेरी डिफिकल्ट. डायल करते रहो.
उंगली घुमा के.
नॉट बी नोइंग ऑल दोस.
नहीं, फिल्मों में देखा है.
हाँ. तो ट्रैंक वो आ गए थे, एसटीडी बूथ्स आ गए थे.
हाँ.
The booth, and
PCO
you won't believe 1 minute, 2 minutes at a time we used to spend 20,
It used to be very expensive.
30 to 35 rupees.
Oh.
And fax was there.
Hmm.
So anyway, from IAEA call was there, and they asked me to come to Bangalore for presentation of my work. So I came, and you won't believe, because I was from hill. In hills, you never know how cycling, you don't know. I don't know even today how to cycle चलाना नहीं आता मेरे को.
Oh, अच्छा.
क्योंकि पहाड़ में कभी जरूरत पड़ती नहीं उसकी.
Fair.
You go down, up and down, up and down. कभी साइकिल चलाना नहीं सीखा. And my father was in UP State Roadways, so whenever we used to travel, we used to go by the roadways buses, क्योंकि वो पास मिल जाता था, तो why spend time? मनी तो बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट था ना, एक एक पैसा इम्पोर्टेंट था. वाई स्पेंड मनी ऑन. बट फर्स्ट टाइम आई ट्रेन में बैठा मैं दिल्ली ऑनवर्ड बेंगलोर के लिए.
वाह.
और वो भी हमको नहीं मालूम रिजर्वेशन क्या होता है. आई केम इन जनरल.
अच्छा.
पहली बार मैं आया तमिलनाडु एक्सप्रेस से चेन्नई तक. उस टाइम पे के भी ऐसे ही जाती थी, कर्नाटक एक्सप्रेस, या थी या नहीं थी, बट आई वेंट टू चेन्नई. फ्रॉम चेन्नई आई टूक अ बस टू बेंगलोर.
और डायरेक्ट ट्रेन बैंगलोर तक नहीं था तब.
हाँ, बेंगलोर तक डायरेक्ट ट्रेन था या नहीं था. के शुरू हुई थी, बट वो भी वाया चेन्नई जाती थी.
अच्छा.
मुझे एग्जैक्टली याद नहीं.
हाँ.
So I came here Bangalore, and for 2-3 days my seminar was there. I was very afraid also, because we have not come out. Our exposure was also not like that.
Fair.
And more or less English speaking is also very poor, because we are from Hindi land only. But somehow for career options I got courage. No, I have to do it. अंग्रेजी बोलना भी नहीं आता था. और फिर इंस्टीट्यूट में आ रहे बाहर कैसा है क्या है, नथिंग. इट वाज ऑल एंजाइटी कि हाउ इट विल हैपन. ऑप्टिंग फॉर कैरियर इज ओके. सो फॉर्चुनेटली आई गॉट सेलेक्टेड, बट दे आस्क्ड मी दैट he will offer me the postdoctoral only first.
Okay.
Not for regular faculty. So I told okay, no issue. I joined in 94 September. I joined here.
Do you remember your salary back then?
3,000.
3,000. Okay.
Scholarship.
Scholarship.
Scholarship 3,000. But they asked me to be in Kavalur Observatory. You know Kavalur Observatory?
No.
Indian Institute of Astrophysics has its observatory like Nainital in Kavalur here. You know Vaniambadi?
No.
You know Jolarpet?
That I heard the name.
From Jolarpet, it is 175 kilometers from here.
Here, though, I think like normal people are not allowed, or like.
No, go. You can go sometime.
We can go.
Kavalur Observatory.
Okay.
But head office is in Koramangala. You might have seen that near St. John, near Kendri Southern.
Okay.
If you come Kendri Southern, next to it is our institute.
Okay.
Indian Institute of Astrophysics. And we have observatory in Kavalur. We have observatory in Kodaikanal also.
That I've heard.
And we have observatory in Ladakh. But at that time Ladakh was not there. So when I joined this Kavalur Observatory, I started working with the same telescope, because We need to explore what to do and make an object list, how to observe it, and what information we want to extract, what science we want to know with the available instruments and all. So that way, that is the regular research work. But meantime, our institute started this project in Ladakh again, which was abandoned in '89, which also I worked from Nainital side at the time. So these people started looking for this higher places in Ladakh. Initially during '84-'89, because a lot of support was needed, which was not given.
The politically also there was a lot of unrest back then.
No. Ladakh
Not there?
never political.
No, not Ladakh in general, like India in general.
No.
तब all good.
Funding used to be very poor. But
वो तो अभी भी है.
Scientists तो अपने करना है तो फिर चाहे इधर से करें उधर से करें. We have to explore it. Because they cannot stop us thinking. Either you go money or not. Scientists never thought of stopping his thought. तो ठीक है, मेरा thought ये है कि मुझे ये करना है, तो our institute got it कि नहीं, observatory जो abandon हो गया था, we have to revive this project, but we should not be limited near to Leh. We have to go to the interiors of Ladakh, because Leh town has come up lights and all army establishment all around. So IIE selected a place in Ladakh which is 260 kilometers from Leh town. It is called the Hanle, and it was the required peak is 4,500 meter above sea level. When half the average.
Everest is I think 8,400.
8,400. So it is 4,500. Average is 2,900 something. So it is 15,200. So that peak was selected that we will test it with topography and talking. And Ladakh, there are two seasons. Only 2 seasons means winter and summer. There are no rainy season or no. There is no monsoon still. So always good sky, everything is good, and their humidity is also very low. Very dry place it is. And there is snowfall. Okay, it may be cold, but snowfall is not like what we saw in other bad places in Kashmir or Shimla or Nainital. There are the good flakes comes. But in Ladakh, snow means it drizzles like. If it in Nainital and all other places, Shimla, if it snows for overnight, it will be 4 to 4 feet and 5 feet. But there, if it snows for 48 hours also, it won't accumulate more than 1 inch. And as soon as any vehicle goes over it, it will wash off. You take that ice in your hand, immediately it won't wet your hands, it will evaporate. So dryness. So temperature may be low, it may be sun outside, but temperature will be -12. This was the atmosphere like there. So that Hanley was selected for that by Indian Institute of Astrophysics. And I was postdoc only, but immediately 2 months after joining my VBO, I started my work. They asked me that you have work in this site testing work and we will send you to Hanley as a team for working there for the winter in 3 to 4 months. After that, we will replace you with people also find it difficult to survive 2 months, 3 months at an isolated place. So that way my institute planned, and I was inducted in first group itself. Other technicians, observers, I was only scientist. But
how many members were there in the team? 11 members.
And we landed in November. I joined September, October, 14 November I landed in Leh after 2 months. So anyway, I was the only working astronomer. Others were technicians and other observers. So, me was the scientist. Some senior, my 2 senior colleagues, but only 1 senior colleague was there who was academy. From academy side, me and 2 people. Others are working people, observers, technicians, helpers. So that way the team was made. And November we went to Hanley. It was very cold. We have a small telescope also, and we started surveying the area, Hanley area. Initially we didn't have our infrastructure. We were staying with the Indo-Tibetan Border Police, ITBP. We stayed in their camp. They used to help us. They used to feed us. They have given us the camp.
And it was fully safe? No risk?
No, it was fully safe. Hanley is near China border. So if you look into the map also, it is very near. The crow flight may be 40 kilometers only. But going Hanley also, we cross the LAC just 4 kilometers away also. Road is like that. Because LAC goes like this, so we come like this. So we are very near to the LAC also when we cross Hanley. But around Henley it is international border, it is not LAC. The dispute is with the LAC only, with China also. We are in around IB. We are in IB area, where international border. LAC starts, but we cross LAC very next to 4 kilometers, so I think very near. So that way Henley was very safe, no issue, and very less. It is a 40-kilometer wide valley. In that peak was like an island, and they call it that peak in Ladakhi name. They call it Dikparastari. They call it Scorpion Hill. Their local language. दिक्पारस्तरी बोलते हैं. री मीन्स पहाड़ी होता है. सो TSO सो होता है लेक, इसलिए पेंगोंग सो बोलते हैं ना, पेंगोंग लेक. और री जो हुआ ये सो मुरारी लेक आपने एक सुना होगा. मुरारी मीन्स हिल्स, हिल टॉप. सो आवर हिल, so 14,000 is the valley, and that only single hill in between of the 40-kilometer wide valley. That is the I will show you photographs later sometime. So that way, that was initially we started working on it. Initially we used to live in the ITV camp, and what happened, people started going, we all are from south. They used to miss their sambar, idli and all. What we can get there in cold, nothing. I survived, and my boss told, I want to also go, you be there. But there was nobody was there to replace me. So I stayed, continued there. Other people came back. Meantime, other team members joined, but I was there. And I was there for 1 year completely.
Oh, in Ladakh?
In Ladakh.
Wow.
Other teams came, they helped me. Other 3-4 teams came. But from November, I could leave to my home in next October only.
At that time you are not married?
No, I was not married.
Acha.
So, but I was not in faculty also. I was working as a postdoc on that. But for staying in Leh, they started giving me the 2,500 rupees as a high altitude allowance also.
Extra bonus?
Extra bonus.
Wow. 2,000.
So I earned that. It was better than any scientist getting at that time.
Yeah.
So that was the reason. So finally, after 1 year survey, then they told I should, they allowed me to come to
Bangalore?
Home. They
Oh,
asked
home.
me go to home, then you can go again Leh, not to come to Bangalore. Because my home is from Delhi only. I need not to come to Bangalore. And during at the time, I think I got married also.
सब डेट याद है, ये वो याद नहीं.
नहीं, उसी टाइम याद है. क्योंकि पोस्ट डॉक था मैं, तो लोगों को प्रेशर भी था, बिकॉज आई वाज 32 ईयर ओल्ड. क्योंकि कर ले तो मैंने कर लिया, अब तो हो ही जाएगा, सब कर लेंगे, देख लेंगे जो भी. But after married, I came to VB Observatory for 2-3 months, I think. But after that, they asked me again to go to Henley. So I left my wife in hometown, and then I went to Leh again. Then at the time itself, they told me, okay, they will give me the faculty position.
Then you got faculty.
So I got faculty as scientist B, project manager of that project.
That must be late 90s or early 2000?
96.
96, huh.
So I joined in 96. And more or less, I should say, the day Bhavya born, my faculty letter was signed on that day.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. The day Bhavya was born? Wow.
The day my faculty letter was signed.
She is a blessing indeed.
Yeah.
It's because of her that I am doing this podcast, because she is my friend. Yeah.
So anyway,
lovely.
So हमें नौकरी चाहिए थी, हमने कहा कहीं भी दीजिए बाप, give us something. So they asked me to be posted there on faculty, but posted in Leh. They gave me good house.
But sir, उधर पे sustain करना, was it like a very harsh condition? How was the living condition?
Harsh. Living condition are definitely very harsh, but good accommodation they give me, and with all modern amenities. And there in Ladakh, light were always issue at the time also.
Electricity.
Only 3 hours we used to get it.
Oh, in the night.
In the evening. And no other lights. But meantime, the solar light, our institute give us solar light, solar heater and all. Our institute give us they facilitate us, no? And more or less the survival is on kerosene. Wood is also very scarcity there, because क्योंकि वहाँ जंगल तो है नहीं, लकड़ी भी बहुत कम था, तो wood का तो kerosene जलता है. And it has a specific heater types, but one night 20 liter. तो जाड़ों में तो हम पानी कम खर्च करते थे, केरोसिन ज़्यादा खर्च करते थे. So we have liaised with the state government also. They used to give us for winters some 12,000, 15,000 kerosene liters. So that institute gave us all facility. Anyway, Leh, an initial 2-year survey that it was proved that it is a very good site. Finally, government gave us a 2-meter telescope. It has a 2-meter diameter. 2-meter telescope जब लगने लगा तो अब उसके लिए इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर चाहिए. And we didn't have anything because we were living with the RTBP only. Then we started our own huts and all, and telescope building and all these games during that 4-year term, 96 to 2000. पूरा telescope infrastructure.
तब तक इंटरनेट आ गया था ना थोड़ा थोड़ा.
इंटरनेट आ गया था, वो डॉट वाला था इंटरनेट एक. दूसरा बट वी हैव ए कम्युनिकेशन, दे कॉल इट RABMN नेटवर्क. We used to chat. That is point to point, but so I have in Hanle one chat, and I can connect in Bangalore.
Like messaging, test.
Messaging and no chatting. Like okay, they will tell we cannot talk, but we can chat in real time. So that unit used to be kept in Bangalore, and from here I will just send a message that somebody is around. Please call him. So they will call and we start checking. So that was the communication. And IP addresses also came same time. Same time. So that was, many things were there. All infrastructure came at 96 to 2000. Telescope was made by the Americans.
So it was bought from America.
Bought, but as per our specification. Our dome building and all these things locally we started doing, and it was a 40 crore project at that time, 4 years. But I was leading from the, but our leaders from IEA are there. They used to come also, but they used to come on specific work, and engineers, all will come. But I was the local leader. I have to manage everything, living there. So we have hired some small guest house in Leh town, and traveling to Hanle also it is difficult, 260 kilometers. There also it is, so snow huts and all. Many things we at that time we did it all, and finally the observatory was established in 2000.
2000.
Himalayan Chandra Telescope.
And it's still there, na? Just the name has been changed.
No, the Himalayan Chandra Telescope. HCT. Then that observatory we named the Indian Astronomical Observatory. So HCT was the first telescope of this. And this telescope is totally work on the solar light.
Okay.
It is not powered with other
Electricity.
So it is totally solar powered. And more or less, you know, Ladakh is high altitude. And they are going, and sustaining is difficult for the people who are living in plains. So we have to acclimatize for first 3 days. And whatever our body oxygen concentration is there, it is as per the oxygen pressure outside. Okay. Once this pressure goes less, when we land in Leh, body has to realize कि यार it has landed in low atmospheric oxygen. So that time is called acclimatization time. So that what we have to do, we have to prolong this concentration which we have come from the plane, and then slowly local atmosphere. If you start exerting more, that oxygen will finish more early, then you will have difficulty. So that acclimatization is a problem, 3 days. If you have a 2 days work in Hanle,
you need 5 days.
You need 10 days.
Oh.
First day you will land in Leh, then 3 days acclimatization. 4th day you will go to Hanle. There also immediately from 12 to 15 it is again acclimatizing problem. So one day you have to take rest, then 2 days work, then come back. So acclimatizing is a problem. So that's telescope, and by that time this communication thing will come up, and ISRO gave us a communication satellite bandwidth, and we are operating this observatory from Bangalore only. It is remotely operated via dedicated satellite link.
But you are physically there or in Bangalore at that time?
At that time I was in, but it was made like that. Scientists need not to go to observe with the telescope to Hanle. They have to do it from the Hoskote campus from Bangalore. 35 kilometers from our main Bangalore, but Hoskote campus we have.
Hoskote I've heard.
So it was made. So 2000 it was made. Then after that, lot of instrumentation, techniques, testing, performance, many things in there, and communication also. So 2002 it was all commissioned, and then they transferred me to Bangalore after commissioning. By that time Bhavya was also 6 years. Bhavya I took also 6 months to that place. So 2006, they asked me to go to Hoskote only. And I was mainly in charge of that facility, Hoskote. So 2002 to till my retirement, I was heading that campus. So this was the story of Ladakh.
फिर उसके after that you are always in Bangalore.
Yeah, I was in always Bangalore. I engaged with my regular research.
One question is to anyone who's watching, let's say young folk who is in 10th or 9th or 10th, he or she wants to be a scientist, a space scientist, an astronomer, or scientist in general. He wants to work in the space or astronomy or astrophysics department in the future. So what advice would you give them? What kind of education should they need to do? What should they study in college? What kind of books they should read, or what kind of courses they should take? Like career trajectory, what kind of career trajectory they should have. So anyone who's watching, let's say, who wants to be in that field.
Actually, this astronomy, astrophysics, if you see, this is the basically observational science. It is what you observe and what you find. Basically on this, but these observations are looking beyond Earth. We call ourselves beyond, we look beyond Earth, and it should have a passion also, because what I did all my career, 38 years of my career, I have to spend a lot of time in night, because I am an optical astronomer. Optical means visible region. There are many wings of astronomy are there in radio region, infrared region, and many, but I am optical means what I see I am working on it. So for that you have to be in the night, and that is very difficult, I should say, because when I was in Hoskote observing nights and all, so it was very difficult sustaining with the family and all. I think my children, they never know whether I am coming in the evening or not, or I will be staying 2 to 3 nights there continuously. So that was it should have passion. Unless you have passion, you cannot do this. And more or less, one thing is that you keep on looking beyond Earth. आप sky में देखिए आपको क्या दिखता है, because and more or less in India, in all over world it is, I think astronomy is taken as an amateur subject. It is never taught in academia from low level, and
You mean to say it's like neglected
yeah,
subject?
it is neglected. It is, and the person who is looking into the sky, he will have passion only, because the amateur are passionate people only. And it is their hobby, like. So hobby means passion. So more or less astronomy is done with the hobby as an amateur. It was never taught in schooling and all as a career option. Yeah, if you have passion, then you can explore with your own. In curricula also, I think up to high school, 1 or 2 chapter you may be knowing, like what is moon eclipse, solar eclipse, and more or less sometime about Akash Ganga, some horrible picture they might have shown you, and so it was not that. But if you look at as a passion, as a hobby, you will see the shooting stars, asteroids, meteoroids, many things are there in the sky. And with the looking, people have their own telescope also to, because what the naked eye you cannot see, they see with that, and they fascinate with the galaxy if they could see with the telescope, or if they see any comet with the telescope. So it is a personal fascination, and passion works here. So if you are coming to the professional world, that passion is really needed. And in profession now, if you are doing science with it, out of it, so definitely you have to be good in physics and mathematics.
Physics and mathematics in 11th and 12th.
Yeah, 11th and 12th and BSc level also. And yeah, physics is the thing, because in astronomy, whatever physics is involved there, that is astrophysics. So you have to be good in physics. You will be never taught that what is specific. But physics, if you are good, mathematics, you are good, you can explore this world.
And sir, after 12th, what kind of degree or courses should they take? General degree, like physics?
These days, professionally, if you say for science side, for academia side, I mean pure science, if you say, basic science, if you say, because we are a part of basic science only. And basic science people neglect also. We should not neglect basic science. Basic science is a subject which give you the technology. आपने देखा होगा कि 500 year back, और जो भी 1609 में Galileo made it.
Galileo, yeah.
And I think modern day science is started after that.
Yes, 500 years ago, more and so.
And they contributed to the basic science. At the time, Newton or whatever physics came, Galileo studied, and Newton's and many other scientists came. So that was basic science. If they calculated orbits and all, and that is basic science. But that basic science today have come up as a technology. If they have not given the Kepler's law and all these things, whatever today's our technology might have not. Today's satellite might have not be there. Today's your remote operation, this cellular technology, mobile technology, these might have not been there. So this is the basic part. So same say also we work in basic science, like that. The CCD also came as a tool for the astronomy. Now it is becoming day to day camera for every mobile and all. That technology technology evolves with the basic science only. Today we work in basic science. We don't know after 400 500 years after these whatever basic science we contributed, it may give. It can generate some technology. We don't know.
I think so.
Because Galileo ने भी अपनी साइंस दी होगी, ये सोच के नहीं दिया हुआ कि इस पर सैटेलाइट टेक्नोलॉजी बन जाएगी या they just contributed. They never thought what will happen later. So that way we have to look into science. कि मेरे को आज मैं इस साइंस कर रहा हूँ तो मुझे आज क्या फायदा होगा. This is not the subject.
Correct.
So basic science is always required. So in that basic physics and basic mathematics is required, because mathematics give us the give us the understanding model, mathematical models of sky, because we cannot approach to this star, but we can make a scientific mathematical model of it. So that way this is very much required. And for science side, basic science side, these days many institutions, many universities have come up which are offering astronomy as a subject in BSc also. And this institution, newly Indian Institute of Science is very old institution which gives astronomy courses. And these days the Indian Institute of Science Education and Research, ISRO they call it. They have also all good in physics and mathematics oriented to astrophysics also.
Okay.
Which is, and we have Inter-University Center for Astronomy and Astrophysics in Pune. We call it IUCA.
Okay.
And these days all IITs have also introduced astrophysics as a subject.
So basically the student has to do well in physics and mathematics
Physics
in
and
their
mathematics.
11th and 12th.
Yeah, 11 and 12th, and they should opt for if they want to go basic science, they should opt for IISER or IISc. They will work in physics only. But they will know how they can utilize this to their astronomy and astrophysics. And these days one more institute have also come up in Trivandrum. They call it Indian Institute of Space Science Technology.
Okay.
That is ISRO has made it, and this gives a lot of other astronomy, astrophysics. They are giving education in aerodynamics and all related this rocket technology and all.
Rocket science.
Yeah, rocket science, rocket technology. Many other private institutions have come up. IITs are also giving courses on this.
And sir, now after Chandrayaan 3 got really popular, young students, they want to work for India, like for India's growth, for India's space research and more. Maybe they want to work at ISRO. And earlier, maybe 1 or 2 generation earlier, people used to study here and then go and work at NASA. Like their dream ki America jaake will work at NASA. But now there are more opportunities emerging out of India, and ISRO is also doing so well. So anyone who's watching, sir, right now, maybe a young folk who is in 9th or 10th or 11th or in college, they want to work at ISRO. So what would be the career roadmap for them? What advice would you like to give to them?
Yeah, so actually there are 2 streams. Engineering stream is also very necessary, and basic science stream is also necessary. Actually in astronomy and astrophysics, because what we have instrumentation, these are not available off the shelf. You go and buy it. You have to develop it your own. So for that, engineering wing is also needed. Anybody who has passion in astronomy, but somehow he tells, no, my parents forced me to do electrical, or but they can also go for astronomy. So what is there in many institutions now? 8-9 good institutions in India are there, like my institute, Indian Institute of Astrophysics, ARIES Nainital, IUCA Pune, TIFR Mumbai. Many institutions have come up, 8-9 institutions, and Bose in Calcutta. A lot of list I can give you if you feel. These are offering PhD courses, specialized. For engineering wing, they are going for 1 year MTech program, then PhD, integrated program they call it, MTech PhD. So that if you have passion for your engineering as well as you can do your astrophysics also. So engineer also, if they somehow they have got admission in engineering wing, they should not, if they have passion for astrophysics, they can go for that also.
They can change it later also.
They can change it, but they can utilize their study what they have done in engineering wing.
Yes, fair.
So this way, our institute, Indian Institute of Astrophysics, gives the integrated MTech program, MTech PhD also. So 1 year they will send them to MTech college. We have Calcutta University affiliation, Pondicherry University affiliation. Our institute offered them to do MTech. So this way, every 6 months these calls for PhD comes. In that integrated program also are announced, and people go for, it is for if you are pure physics, MSc physics is required. For MSc, the PhD programs are there. And in astronomy and astrophysics, after initial MSc physics, whatever you have done, for 6 months to 1 year, our institute give them a specific training on, then only they can go for the PhD. So we call it our own graduation program.
And all of this is available in India itself. No one needs to go outside of the country to study, na?
We can do it in India. You have to qualify for and during this initial phase also, we are giving good scholarship. Our institute is also giving good. So parallelly, because we are funded by same institute, Department of Science and Technology, we are offering 35,000 per month for a fresh student.
Oh, that's really great.
Plus free accommodation, free medical.
That's really good. 35,000 per month.
2 lakh book grant per year.
Oh.
And plus 1 lakh, if you want to go any symposium outside, we will fund you. 1 lakh.
Anywhere around the world. Up to 1 lakh.
Up to 1 lakh, but it can increase 2 lakh also. So it is a good opportunity are there. And every year we announce, we keep on taking one common entrance test is also there. They call it JEST, J-E-S-T.
And sir, name of the institute again? Can you?
Name of the institute, many institutes are there, like Indian Institute of Astrophysics, Bangalore, Indian Institute of Space Science Technology, IISTT, they call it Trivandrum, Physical Research Laboratory, Ahmedabad, Udaipur Solar Observatory, Udaipur, and Aryabhat Research Institute in Nainital, S.N. Bose Institute in Calcutta, like that.
There are lots.
Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore itself is there, and they have a all common entrance exam also. You can go any of the institute which you like if you qualify for that. And specific institute they run for the MTech program also. And we are giving good fellowship is good. And even if Indian Institute of Space Science Technology, which is in Trivandrum, it is from BS, they call it BS, not BSc. After inter only, if you are selected, they are giving you all free boarding, free lodging, and 5,000 scholarship also. And more or less, after MS, if you have completed successfully, they are giving you the job also. They are asking for the bond also. But you can opt for PhD. After MS, you can go for PhD in same institute also.
Or you can get a job also.
Or you can go to the ISRO for a job.
Sorted. Then it's really nice. Really.
Yeah. And more or less, I can say, whoever does PhD from our institute and all, I think 50% are abroad. 50% only left in India. Our intake is almost 10 to 15 students, but after 5 years, if you see, out of those 15, maybe year 2-3 are there, all are in outside. They get, because we encourage them after finishing PhD, we encourage them to go to postdoctoral, to your expertise, and you learn more. So postdoctoral, after postdoctoral nobody comes back.
Nobody comes back.
But in academia also, there are always requirement is there. I think in our institute, I should say, when I started as postdoc, I started, our present director, Dr. Annapurni is there. She was doing PhD. I was postdoc, but she was doing PhD.
Sir, now I have a philosophical question. You have studied science for all of your life. You have had a vast, decorated 38 years of service in the science. You used to study stars, you used to study space, you used to study science and physics on the very grassroots level. So now, what do you think? Do you think there is a God? Do you think God created the world? Or what are your thoughts on it? Do you believe? If it's very personal, please don't answer.
As far as God is concerned, I can say where answering by because science is exploring day-to-day activity, everything, physics is there, we are exploring. Somewhere you need to answer, physics is giving answer, but somewhere you don't find any answer. At the time you are philosopher.
Correct. Yeah.
You should be always find the solution. Whatever modern day people accepted the Big Bang from one point it started, but where this one point came,
Yeah.
that was the philosophical question.
Correct. So 13.8 billion years ago, Big Bang happened. But before that, we have no
From
data.
that, where, because if you see the coordinate system, you have distances here plus minus, but time is always on positive side.
Yeah, time is always linear.
So where it is zero. आज हम कहते हैं इतने साल हो गए, but वो साल कहाँ से गिन रहे हैं?
Correct. Yeah. That's a question that even science did not answer, like beginning of time or the beginning of universe. But sir, one theory is there right now.
We are seeing in all our universe, everything is circling each other,
Okay.
taking round, because taking round is the most stable thing.
Taking round means, can you explain?
It is every periodical. Na? Earth is moving around, Moon is moving around, Sun is, our solar system is moving around galaxy. Galaxy is also moving around.
Collection of galaxy, yeah.
Collection of galaxy, and they are moving around some black hole. Black hole is also not so moving around, so they have some period. But time is only in one direction. When it start going back, everything is moving around means it is coming to the initial position sometime. Sometime it is coming to initial position.
So you think it's a full circle?
Full circle. So
What if, sir, it's just linear going?
Linear, when it is start going back.
I don't think. Do you think time can ever go back? Is it possible?
Why not? But everything is in universe. It is there. Everything positive is negative. Na? It should have a negative point also. It is explained like anything. If you create any positive, there should be always negative. अगर आपसे बोला जाए यहाँ पर एक पहाड़ खोदो, पहाड़ को बनाओ, तो उसके लिए मिट्टी कहाँ से लाओगे? उसको नीचे खोदना पड़ेगा ना बगल में, मिट्टी निकाल के उसको, तो नेगेटिव इज क्रिएटेड ना व्हेन यू क्रिएट अ पॉजिटिव, इज इट?
Yeah, it's philosophical. It's something that even science
And more or
cannot
less
answer.
in astronomy physics, we peep into the past.
Yes, yeah.
सन से यहाँ लाइट 8 मिनट में पहुँचती है, इसका मतलब द लाइट विच इज नाउ वी आर सीइंग, इट हैज स्टार्टेड 8 मिनट बैक. आई एम स्टडीइंग द 8 मिनट.
पुराना स्टोरी.
ऐसी कोई स्टार जो है वो 1 मिलियन लाइट ईयर है, वो लाइट मेरे पास आज पहुंच रही है. इसका मतलब टुडे इट इज देयर और नॉट वी डोंट नो, बट व्हाट इट वाज 1 मिलियन ईयर बैक, आई एम लुकिंग इनटू इट.
The star is dead.
We don't
now.
know. We don't know that or not, but like that, telescope approach is also decided not by anything, decided by this, how deep we can peep. So if any star, a galaxy which is 1 billion light year, I am looking today, I am studying it today, means I am looking a very young universe. No?
Correct. 1 billion years.
How universe is made, that is finding me today. I am finding.
Correct. So you think God created universe?
I should not comment on it.
Okay.
Whereas my personal belief are they are different, but my profession is different.
Fair. That's a good answer. Personal and professional beliefs are different.
And more or less people ask about the astrology. Very few, if you go any extempore, you ask astronomy, he will tell, his mind will go in astrology.
Do you believe in astrology?
No.
Fair. I also don't believe.
अब astrology होता क्या है, ये क्या होता है, वो क्या होता है? So in physics we have y is equal to mx plus c means y is equal to mx plus c, ना?
Correct.
2 plus 2 4 ही होगा हमेशा.
Correct.
अब ये जो स्टेलर अलाइनमेंट है, ऐसा है तो ऐसा होगा, ऐसा. बट इफ दिस इज ऑलवेज रिपीटेड, इट इज ऑलवेज देयर ना, but always it doesn't happen, na? But people used to correlate it and make a statistics of why this is developed. Actually, if you look our astronomical knowledge, it is not a modern day science. We have known it Aryabhatta, Vanbhatta and all.
Correct.
Even we are telling that only this heliocentric and geocentric universe, it is debate of 13th century only. But already Aryabhatta has told that we are around sun only. And sun at distance also he has predicted 15 crore kilometers. But those lessons we are not given. We are told all modern physics which was originated from Europe and all. We are not taught. But if you look our Vedic science, it has more. Our Panchang also and all these, all calculations are very exactly what today NASA calculates and all. हमारे लोग भी पंचांग देखते हैं ना कि कब सोलर इक्लिप्स है, कब क्या है, पूरा बता देते हैं. चाहे वो अपनी लैंग्वेज में बताएगी ये घड़ी में है, ये काल में है, ये उस ठीक है. That understanding we should develop also. So that knowledge is there. But astrology, it is a simple word I can say, because we are human beings. We think a lot. We have our own emotions. We have emotions about our family. We have emotions about our parents. So those emotions are always like that. What it is today, it is okay. What I was earlier, yeah. It is a general human tendency. What will be the future? General human. What will be my children? So it is a general human tendency that is exploited by some learned people of that Vedic age.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally impossible to know your future, right? Yeah. It's not physically possible.
Exploited by
it's a gimmick business.
Cunning people.
Yeah.
And it was very deep rooted in our India. So deep rooted वो knowledge होना चाहिए था, ये नहीं. वो knowledge होना चाहिए था घड़ी और ये वाला जो मैं कह रहा हूँ ना.
Astrophysics होना चाहिए था, physics होना चाहिए था.
Astronomy होना चाहिए. वो deep rooted होने पर ये deep rooted astrology हो गया.
So sir, what can the next generation do to bring that change? कि knowledge ऐसा वाला होना चाहिए, ऐसा वाला हटाना चाहिए.
We have to look and we have to see. People tells कि our Vedas has taken by Europe and all. Then only they have come with all explanations and all. I don't know how much it is true, but we have to look our heritage also, and we should, keeping in mind the modern science, we should look into it in a scientific way. I'm not going to the same tradition of astrology, but that knowledge we should explore it within the framework of modern science.
Yes.
I'm also planning. I'm trying to do it now after my retirement, to study the Vedic science and all, and compare my knowledge with that. What I learned from these and what it is. I want to, look into the scientific way. So that should be, I think, encouraged
to study one's roots.
In new generation can take up this. You should learn the modern day science, but they should take that heritage also. What it is exactly. It is all pseudo or some real facts are there.
Find it yourself.
Yeah. वही कहते हैं ना कि ब्रिटिशर्स हमारा पूरा ज्ञान ले गए. उसी के बाद तो ये 19th सेंचुरी में
इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन है,
ये आया जो भी आया. आइंस्टीन के बाद दूसरा आइंस्टीन पैदा नहीं हुआ.
Correct. I believe like the knowledge and everything was there, but 500 years ago when modern science started, Galileo के बाद तब जाके popularize हुआ ज़्यादा, तब जाके वो mainstream में आया. And it started from
हमारा जो astronomy है, it is a mother of all sciences. Astronomy के बाद ये सब चीज़ शुरू हुआ ना, क्योंकि if you look into it, early days means when this civilization is started. Earlier they used to be in the jungle, they used to hide in the forest, है ना. और daytime में अगर वो sun आ रहा very hot, they used to deep inside the jungle. They used to be afraid of it, ना. And night time में moon आ रहा है, it is giving very coolness to them. They come out and all. And sometime thundering is there, storm are there. So they started looking on it, and slowly they realized that the sun is coming daily in the morning, going in the own way. We should not be afraid of it. It is a visual science only, realizing visual. And slowly they started thinking, something is there. It is not harming me, but it is coming definitely. Today this light is falling here, this light is falling here. They started thinking the moment. So this is how they started doing.
This is how we evolved, you think?
As humans. Yeah, so then slowly they started cultivating according to season. They started making season. And with the shadow is here, shadow is here, they started thinking that way. Periodics and all.
Seasons, time.
Yeah, this light is after exactly 1 year, this stone is lighting. After 1 year, this stone is lighting. And with each month, this. So they made a calendar of it. So, and then they started cultivation. So that's why this is the observation. It is observation only.
Yeah.
And that is visual also. I'm talking today. Many sciences are there, but I'm talking of the whatever I see, visible universe.
Rest though, in any field of science, it all starts with an hypothesis, and then whatever facts and data you have, the visual,
started from
then you reach to a conclusion. It should be that way.
That way.
Yeah. But I believe, like, if I may, in religion, what happens is the conclusion is given before, but you can't question the conclusion. You cannot question. It is there.
yeah.
You cannot change it.
That is all human behavior. We cannot comment on this.
Fair. Fair.
I have a question. Can I answer?
Yeah, please ask.
Sorry to interrupt. So, do you think the Research and Development Department of India should be taken more seriously as India is blooming currently?
Yes, earlier
Any department.
earlier it was all institutions were like, okay, everybody is giving offering PhD, and science institutions are there. Like we know the oldest institution, Indian Institute of Science and Tata Institute of Fundamental. People are more materialistic, and these science generally it is with the passion only. It can be done with the passion only. So now with the recent development, it was made actually. What I can say, publicly it was whatever science is being done. It was science is thought to be very boring and all. And so it comes with the fascination and passion. But these days, after ISRO has given a lot of things to study, the public perception was little changed. You know, these are the also wings which may be lucrative and which may be challenging, which may be the, like earlier the challenges will be pilot banunga because it is a challenge there. So now challenge there, I want to be the astronaut. That was the challenge. So it is a more challenging. It has established in India now. So I think people will also come up with the opting for science, I feel.
But in one of the interview after Chandrayaan-3, I saw like S. Somnath sir, who is the chief of ISRO right now, he said that the current salaries of the scientists is 1/10 of what they should be paid. So what changed? Do you see any change personally because of your vast decorated career, or what change should be inculcated so that?
No, we are the similarly paid like government babus and all.
Acha. You don't agree with it then?
Yeah, so it is not there. It should be enhanced because we have to sacrifice many ways. Any scientist, in my profession also, I have to sacrifice many. I have to leave my family somewhere. I have to do in the night, day duty. To support family, this fund is not required. And more or less, if some scientist is there, you should give him the free hand of family staying. हमें यही चिंता हो जाती है यार हम बच्चों को कहाँ रखेंगे, पहले मकान बनाओ, यहाँ लो, लोन लो, ये लो, वो करो. अगर हम फ्री माइंड हैं तो वी कैन स्पेंड मोर टाइम ऑन आवर सब्जेक्ट, है ना. अब हम चिंता में हैं कि हमारे बच्चे कैसे जा रहे होंगे, किसी स्कूल में दाखिला दें, और कहाँ मकान बनाएंगे, कहाँ क्या करेंगे. अगर ये हमें ये हेल्प मिल जाएगी, ओके यू हैव रेडी विद accommodation, go and live there and you will be taken care everything. So this is very less in India. This type of thoughts are very less, and more or less money allotment is also very less to science and research. So that way it happens. Institute used to provide things, but it is not that way. It is being supported by the government. The government should support and giving free hand to the workers to their work, not to worry about their day-to-day.
On a brighter side, I also wanted to ask you that what is the most interesting fact of astronomy? Like, what make you very rooted to astronomy?
It is person to person. I may find it something, you may find it something. My fascination is that I can see the growth of a star, how it is growing and how it is evolving with time and what is its ultimate future, how it is going to die.
So the death of star is called supernova, na?
Many things are there. Death of supernova is white dwarf.
White dwarf.
Supernova is the next generation of evolution.
It's very fascinating. It's very fascinating. Do you have any book recommendations for the youngsters to start astrophysics or astronomy? एकदम बेसिक से एक्सपर्ट तक.
कि हमने कभी इस तरह के पढ़े नहीं है, वो तो if they feel there is a lot of in our lifetime, because what you remember, what you have taught up to 10th, those books we will remember very well. After that, it all subject we don't remember which books we have learned. True. But there are in basics of astronomy, there is no book at all. I don't think professionally it is written. I don't remember. There are some people. Some K.D. Abhyankar has written something, and K.D. Abhyankar is a big professor in Osmania earlier. But names I may not be knowing. But we have read all books later when we were in the real profession. But in this, you have to take as a hobby. First thing is that you look beyond Earth and see you are not confined to your lab. Universe is your lab.
The universe is your lab.
Yes.
That's a brilliant line.
So your table starts from here. Try to point the telescope. Your lab is started working.
The world is your lab.
Yeah.
So I think that's a beautiful line, and with that, I think we should wrap up here. Is there anything else that you'd like to add? Any closing remarks?
It is a very good learning for about you, about yourself, about mankind, about the civilization, history as well as, and more or less, people are fascinated these days. Is like us, some other civilization is there or not?
Alien civilization. Who knows?
So who knows this? है ना? So unless we have a communication, है ना? Earlier जैसे हम एक city में हैं, we are confined to communicate with us. Other cities also there, na? Unless we communicate with each other, so we don't know whether other civilization is there or not. Like us, we are discussing here some other planetary things. They may be also discussing.
They may also have their podcast, extraterrestrial podcast.
Is not there or not.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You can,
possibilities there.
Yeah. So that reason, the Voyager 1 and Voyager 2, their journey 77 started. They have crossed a very vast limit of their in interplanetary zone.
Interplanetary.
And what they do, they are propagating, somebody is around, the sound they propagate.
Yeah, radio waves.
In Hindi also it is there.
Oh, in Hindi also.
Yeah. Somebody is around, please respond. Somebody is around, please respond.
Nice. It's very fascinating. Science is very, very fascinating. And sir, one last question. You know about Elon Musk and what he's doing with SpaceX and how it's planning to, take humanity to Mars. If you ever given the opportunity, would you like to settle in Mars?
No, don't want to pollute that.
You don't want to pollute that. Okay, so sir, it's a tradition in my thing. Before I end this podcast, all our discussion is done. Before I end this podcast, you can look into the camera and tell your honest experience about this podcast today. How was your experience?
It was good, and seems you have also done a good homework before coming to me. And more or less, I know that you are a friend of my daughter.
Yeah.
She might have, I think, given some tips that what I was doing, what I am.
No, I had no idea. So I really love astrophysics, and that's one of the reason I wanted to talk to you. I had no idea. I love astrophysics.
So fortunately, I landed here in Bangalore yesterday only, and because I left this place in June. So I am settled in Uttarakhand, where my hometown, and there I can see sky very clearly. Here you cannot see even the bright star, but in my home.
Traffic.
In my home, I can see the night sky very well, and very blue sky I can see.
We'll go someday.
Yes.
We'll go someday.
I can invite you there, and you have a lot of things to explore.
Yeah.
And more or less, I am talking with some people there in Delhi. One, I think you can have this person named Matiur Rahman.
Okay.
He's very good science movie maker. So he's collaborating. He's asking me that he want to popularize astronomy from the school level. So we are working on it, and underprivileged school of Uttarakhand we have taken some.
That's really nice.
And we are giving them the telescope also to see.
Wow.
So that they can create their passion in astronomy and astrophysics. So Dr. Matiur Rahman, he is from Delhi. His production name is Stars.
Stars. Okay.
And you can search Stars and Matiur Rahman. And his earlier production was Try Bhai, Try-Bhai.
Try Bhai.
He has been awarded many Indian awards, foreign awards, the Golden Globe Award also in science movies. So I'm working with him now. We started this Stars now.
Nice.
Yeah, to popularize astronomy, astrophysics at its grassroots level.
I wish you
all
the best.
Yeah, so you can come to our place. We will show you how sky is there.
दिन में तारे देखने आएंगे सर।
दिन में तारे देखे आपने?
नहीं।
मैंने देखे वीनस है ना, आप दिन में देख सकते
हाँ, वीनस तो दिन में दिखता है। हाँ
But the
Actually,
spark in your eyes, ना, still
यही
you are
यही मेरे
interested.
साथ हुआ था एक्चुअली। ये जब मैं आपको डोम और ये इसकी बता रहा था ना, अब ये मैंने फुलिश थिंग बताई नहीं आपको। डोम अगर देखते जंगल में, एक बार हुआ ऐसा कि हमारी गाय जो है जंगल हाँकते थे तो वो नहीं आई, तो उसको बाघ ले गया, क्योंकि वो थे टाइगर। तो बाघ ने मार दिया। क्या हुआ, हम मैं और मेरी मदर जो है ना, हम ढूंढने जा रहे थे दिन में, एंड इट वाज अ विंटर स्काई। तो मैंने ऐसे ही देख रहा था, आसमान को देखने में आती, तो मुझे लगा, मैंने अपनी मदर हम ईजा मैंने कहा तारा दिखाई दे रहा था। कौन से मैंने दिखाया उसको, यहाँ पर है। तो इट मे बी वीनस, लेटर आई रियलाइज, बट मैंने देखा, मैंने अपनी मदर को दिखाया था तारा, जब मैं आई मे बी मेयरली इन 4th और 5th स्टैंडर्ड।
सो स्वीट, सो
उसके
स्वीट।
बाद हेनले में भी मैंने लोगों को दिखाया दिन में। हेनले स्काई वाज आल्सो वेरी गुड। हेनले में भी मैंने दिन में वीनस दिखाया लोगों को, 11 o'clock डेलाइट में।
नाइस, विल
इतना
गो।
ट्रांसपेरेंसी अच्छा है हिल में।
The spark in your eyes, ना, like the
अभी तो
interest.
नहीं, अब तो सब जगह हमारे होम टाउन भी डिटर्ड हो गया। नैनीताल इटसेल्फ, आई टोल्ड यू, दे हैव shifted to some other peak now, which I studied at the time when I was working. So it is a 3.6 DOT telescope. You can search for it. That side is also I explored.
Okay.
Nainital is shifted 3.6 meter. They have Asia's largest telescope now. Aries 3.6 6 meter M लिख ले, DOT Nainital.
So it was really a pleasure talking to you, sir. It's an absolute honor to know about your story. Thanks a lot for inviting us. So बात करके बहुत मजा आया, and with this I am ending it.